So I missed that game on Friday night. I don't know. It was on the schedule for Saturday, and so I didn't know it was Friday. So I missed Welcome to the Bob Johnson Court in the John Rutledge King Center on the campus of Emory and Henry College for the bonus round of men's basketball. We'll pause to honor America with the playing of our national anthem. I'm Joy Scruggs, bringing you the play-by-play. Alongside me is Ann Crutchfield, athletic director at Emory and Henry, as we bring tonight's action, as I said, the bonus round. After Emory and Henry was eliminated from the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, they picked up a couple of games with Warren Wilson. Emory and Henry will be coming into today's game with a record of 0-8 and finished the season 0-7. And because they played so few games in the regular season, and Warren Wilson wasn't able to begin their season playing games until March, Warren Wilson's only played one game. They're 0-1 at this point. They lost by 2 against Mid-Atlantic Christian. Coach Thompson was able to pick up a couple of games with the visiting Owls. So, Coach Crutchfield, do you want to give us the starters for the Warren Wilson Owls?
Sure. Starting on the wing is number 2, a 6'5" senior from Nashville, Tennessee, DeMarco Jackson. Starting at guard, a 6'2" freshman from Forest City, North Carolina, number 3, Antonio Ledbetter. Starting also on the wing, a 6'3" senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 10, Brent Davis. Starting at forward, a 6'4" sophomore from Rollsville, North Carolina, number 12, Tariq Kaiser. And rounding out the lineup on the wing is a 6'5" sophomore from Valdez, North Carolina, number 15, Jerry Day. Leading the Owls in his second season is Coach Dominic Boone, and he is assisted by Jacob Senyo.
Emory and Henry, as I said, enters the game 0-8 and finished the ODEX season 0-7. Coached by Ben Thompson in his second year as the head coach, assisted by Matt Spencer and Rick Thompson. Starting at guard, a 6'5" junior from Kingsport, Tennessee, averaging 11 points a game, number 1, Tyler Arnold. A 6'3" sophomore guard from Concord, North Carolina, averaging 7 points a game and 3.3 rebounds a game, and was our leading scorer and rebounder in the last game against Roanoke, number 4, Malcolm Morgan. A 5'11" freshman from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, point guard, number 5, Patrick Antonelli. A 6'2" junior guard from Simpsonville, South Carolina, averaging 10 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, number 11, Micah Banks. And at forward, a 6'8" sophomore from Chilhowie, Virginia, number 42, Dylan Catron. Emory and Henry is playing tonight's contest without their leading scorer and rebounder, number 25, Robert Holliday, Jr. Emory and Henry is wearing orange. Well, they're bright yellow, but they're not orange. Yellow uniforms with teeny tiny blue numbers on them, the announcer's nightmare. The visiting Owls will be in the dark uniforms with white numerals. Emory and Henry will be playing offense on the left-hand side of your screen to begin tonight's contest. And tipping it off for Emory and Henry will be number 42, Dylan Ketron. For the Owls, it will be number 15, Jerry Day. And the tap is up, and it's controlled by the Owls. Jackson with the ball up top, feeds it to the high post, faces up, takes Dylan Ketron down low, spin move, floater on its way, no good. Rebound, put back up, and scored by the Owls to take the 2-0 lead. Antonelli sets up the Wasps, gives it to Ketron on the step out. Ketron faces, looks Antonelli down low, can't get it. Arnold with it on the right-hand wing, now gives it up to Morgan. Antonelli back with it, trying to get something going. Back to Morgan up top. Nobody can seem to get inside with it. Antonelli picks up the miscue, gets it to the right-hand wing to Banks. Banks takes it in off the front of the rim, falls short to the Owls. Davis takes it in. His little pull-up is good, and the Owls lead 4-0. Antonelli gets it picked by Jackson. Jackson takes it in, and Antonelli gets caught in the air and comes down on Jackson, will get called for the foul.
Emory and Henry coming out of the gates a little slow here. It start the half. This has been a very frustrating season for the Emory and Henry men. They've been plagued all season long by injuries. They've missed Jordan Grant on the court this year. He's an experienced guard, and they've a very young team that sometimes seems to get a little rattled when things get tight.
First shot's no good by Jackson. He was 7 of 7 in their only contest of the season so far and knocks down the second one. Now the Owls lead by 5 early in first half action here from the King Center. Antonelli sets up the Wasps. Ketron on the step out. Now he takes it down low, kicks it back out to Antonelli, skips across to Arnold. His three is long, and rebound comes out long to Day. In transition, I can't see who that was. I think it was Kaiser, gets called for the travel for the Owls. So first turnover for the Owls, who lead at 5 by 5 with 18:39 remaining in first half action. Antonelli gets it inside, kicks it out to Arnold. Good ball movement as the Wasps skip it around the perimeter. Banks with it on the right-hand wing. He takes it inside, now fires it outside. Quick ball movement by the Wasps, finds Arnold at the top of the key, and he knocks down the three.
I tell you can see a big improvement in Emory and Henry in the way they're moving the ball, reversing the ball on the offensive end of the floor.
Great defensive play by Antonelli. Jerry Day takes it in against his man, does a spin, turns around with it, exposes the ball, and Antonelli just dives down on it and ties it up for Emory and Henry to get the ball on the possession arrow. Trailing by 2, 18 minutes remaining in the first half action. Antonelli with it on the left-hand wing, catches his man in the air, penetrates, gets it to Morgan, back to Antonelli. Ketron, nobody can seem to get the ball inside. And Antonelli got double-teamed, caught his defender playing a little bit too close, and it smartly attacked him and drew the foul. That foul's on Davis, his first, team first. Emory and Henry will have it with a fresh 20 on the shot clock as Banks sets up, goes off a ball screen by Ketron. Can't get the ball inside, now gives it to Morgan. Morgan to Tyler Arnold. Arnold's three is good, and Emory and Henry takes a 1-point lead off 2 threes by Tyler Arnold. In transition, Day's short shot comes up short, and Emory and Henry comes away with it. Oh gosh, and in transition, trying to pass it around the perimeter. We get it picked off, and then we take it back and find Micah Banks on the right-hand block, dump it down to him, and Emory and Henry now leads by 3.
That was a good look by Antonelli there on the offensive end.
Antonelli has had a solid game against Roanoke the other night, the kind of game coaches, former point guards, and parents appreciate when their point guard has 5 assists and 0 turnovers. Owls with the ball underneath their basket with 21 on the shot clock as Jackson sets up the offense. So they spread all 5 players on the perimeter. Kaiser with it, finds a cutter. That's Ledbetter. His little left-hand floater is going to be good.
That's a good use of the flex screen down on the baseline there.
The old-timey flex screen. 16:50 remaining. Emory and Henry leads by 1, 8-7. Arnold with the ball on the right-hand wing, goes off a ball screen by Morgan. Now Ketron with Banks at top to Morgan. Morgan gets inside, draws 2 defenders. His pull-up jumper's no good, and the Owls come away with it. Davis in transition, going against Morgan. Takes it off the rim, won't fall, and Morgan comes away with it for Emory and Henry. Finds Arnold in transition. Acrobatic layup by Arnold gives Emory and Henry a 3-point lead. 10-7, a little over 16 minutes remaining, first half action.
I think Arnold has all 7 of the points so far.
Yep, 7 out of 10. The Owls passing around the perimeter, get it inside off the dribble by Kaiser, and his shot goes off the back of the iron. Emory and Henry attacks the rim, and that's going to be a foul on, I believe that's Ledbetter on the block. That's his first, team second.
Entering the game for Emory and Henry, number 3, Kevin Rodriguez, and number 10, Corey Keene. Keene, a 6'6" freshman from Grundy, Virginia, has been an impact player during this first year here at Emory and Henry. He's a solid rebounder, particularly on the offensive end.
Keene with the ball up top, 23 on the shot clock for the Wasps. We get it to the inbounder. He draws 2 defenders, takes it high off the glass. That's Morgan with the shot. It won't drop, but he draws the foul on that, and he'll go to the free throw line shooting 2. Emory and Henry leads 10-7 with just under 16 remaining in the first half action.
Rodriguez is averaging 12.4 points a game coming off the bench for this game, but he has been at times one of the most prolific scorers Emory and Henry's had on the floor.
The first shot is good by Morgan. And the second one rims out. And in a battle for the rebound, 2 Owls have a hold of it. I can't envision 2 Owls with their wings on the ball, but nonetheless, it rolls out of bounds, and it'll be Emory and Henry's possession underneath their basket with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound to Keene, to Arnold on the right-hand wing. Looks for the cutter coming in bounds, can't get him. Gives it up to Rodriguez, takes it strong to the rim. It falls out, but he gets his own rebound, puts it up, won't fall. And finally, an Owl comes away with it. Davis for the Owls, swinging around the perimeter. They're playing 5 players on the perimeter, looking for space to get the ball into the rim, and they do. Jackson able to get his man, takes him in and scores it. Emory and Henry's lead is 2, 15-13, 11-9, 15-13 remaining, 11-9. Handoff to Arnold, deep 3 by Arnold on the way, bangs off the front of the rim, and Warren Wilson comes away with the rebound. Ledbetter pulls it back out, looks at the 3, that's Jackson, sorry. On the perimeter, again, just trying to get it inside and do. That seems a little too easy as the Owls knotted up here.
Yeah, Whiteside being strong off the bounce there.
Yeah, there's no real help side there when you spread everybody on the perimeter. Arnold with the ball, left-hand wing. He's going to take the 3 again. It won't fall. Emory and Henry's Keene battles for the rebound, but it's going to go to Warren Wilson.
Now in the game for Warren Wilson, number 5, a 6'5" sophomore, Sean Austin.
14-13 remaining in the first half. It's tied at 11. Emory and Henry has been playing man-to-man this entire game, as have the Owls. Jackson sets up the offense, 20 on the shot clock. Pass to the high post to Day. He faces up, looks to take Keene, up and under for Day, and hits it off the back of the rim, and it drops through. They're just playing one-on-one. They're spreading it out, isolating their man, beating us one-on-one. Emory and Henry trying to get the ball inside and do off the dribble. Back to Arnold. Arnold's 3-point attempt no good again. He started off hot, and in transition there's nobody back. Oh my gosh, and Day goes up for the shot. Emory and Henry goes for the block, and it goes in anyway.
I think on the playground that's called a little cherry picking.
Yeah. 3-point shot in transition by the Wasps is no good by Morgan. And here come the Owls again in transition. Whiteside skip around the perimeter. 3-point shots up, no good. Rebounded by Arnold for the Wasps. Banks gets it inside. We're getting the same advantage. We just not, our shots aren't falling.
All right.
And that's Jackson who goes inside, gives it up. It won't fall, but a foul will be called on Emory and Henry.
Foul's on number 1, Tyler Arnold, I think. Immediate timeout. You know, at the beginning of the game, Emory and Henry was taking his time, getting a little set up and reversing the ball and get some movement there. But the last 4 or 5 possessions, it's just been down the floor trying to play one-on-one, and that hadn't worked out so well for Emory and Henry.
Well, in their one game this season, Warren Wilson shot 48% from the floor, which would make me think they were going to the rim quite a bit. They also shot 14 threes. Emory and Henry on the night, how many threes have we taken already?
Right now, Emory and Henry's 2 of 7 behind the arc.
Shooting 28% from the floor, while the Owls are shooting 58% and have 14 points in the paint.
Right.
So they're just playing 5 people out on the perimeter. And I'm thinking if they don't get it to the rim, because we start helping, then they're going to kick it out and take the 3. It looks like from the stats we have from their one game so far this season. Let me remind you all, as a fan of Emory and Henry Athletics, you're also a fan of WEHC 90.7, your college and community station. Over the years, WEHC has kept fans like you in the action of Emory and Henry sports, but in these times when no spectators are allowed in the stands, bringing the action to our E&H fans through WEHC is now more important than ever. Please show your support and appreciation for WEHC by making a gift to the station during our spring fundraiser. You can call 276-582-0907 to make a pledge, or go online to WEHCFM.com and select Make a Gift. Thank you, and go Wasps. Well, I say no spectators. Outdoor sports, we have limited spectators.
That's
but
right.
We're here at basketball. And that first free throw by Kaiser, I think that's Kaiser at the line, is
Jackson.
it? Oh, it's Jackson. I can only see the 2. The first one's good, the second one isn't. And with 13:05 remaining in first half action, Emory and Henry trails by 5, 11-16. Banks with the ball on the right-hand wing. Trying to get it inside, can't. We're skipping around the perimeter. Now with Rodriguez, left-hand wing. He tries to get inside. I thought that could have been offensive foul just as much as defensive, as Rodriguez could not get any advantage as he went against Whiteside. And he sort of gave him a swim move there, but the foul's going to be on Whiteside for the Owls.
That's Whiteside's second foul, 14th foul for the Owls.
Antonelli can't get by his defender either, gets in a little bit, kicks it out to Rodriguez. 3 on the way. Oh my gosh, that went halfway down and came out. And here come the Owls in transition. Jackson takes it in, kicks it out. Day now down low to Austin. Austin's shot's no good. And Antonelli comes away with it for Emory and Henry. Ketron with the ball screen for Antonelli, slips it. Antonelli gets inside with the Euro move, step, and just loses the handle on it. And Whiteside comes away in transition, puts it high off the glass. 2 bodies fall on the floor, but the ball fell through, and now the Owls lead by 7, 11-18. Just over 12 remaining in first half play. Rodriguez with the ball, left baseline. And as he tries to get inside, stumbles, falls, has it on the floor, needs to call timeout. Nope, gets it to Emory. Nope.
Nobody can pick it up.
Nobody can pick it up, and Day comes away with it. His pull-up jumper's no good, and Keene gets the rebound for Emory and Henry. Pass ahead to Rodriguez. Rodriguez goes 1-on-2 and goes around both defenders and gets it to fall for the 2 points for Emory and Henry. Day's 3-point attempt for the Owls hits nothing except the baseline out of bounds. We're knotted up. No, we're not. Sorry, that looked like an 8 from over here. Emory and Henry trails by 5, 13-18. Looked like an 18 from over here, looking at that scoreboard, with just over 11.5 minutes, or under 11.5 to play. Owls playing tough man-to-man defense. Antonelli gets past his man, gets inside, kicks it out to Banks. Banks on the left-hand wing knocks down the three for Emory and Henry.
Emory and Henry needed those last two possessions.
Jackson being guarded by Antonelli on the right-hand wing. Emory and Henry switched to a 2-3 zone here. So if you're going to play on the perimeter, we'll be out there to match in. We'll have somebody inside as well. Ball at the short corner, now skipped it over to Whiteside. Left-hand baseline, three-point shot on the way, and it's good for, I can't see who that is.
Number 21, Turner Bailey, hits that three from the corner.
So Emory trails by 5, 16-21. Antonelli picks up the dribble, gets it to Keene on the left-hand wing. Back to Antonelli, asking for a ball screen. Keene comes, Antonelli goes the opposite way. Out to Keene, three-point attempt by Keene is good, drains it.
We have a timeout on the floor by Emory and Henry. We have a break into action. Emory and Henry basketball is brought to you now from First Community Bank. First Community Bank thrives on building relationships with businesses and individuals as we shoot for a better tomorrow. We are a proud supporter of the Emory and Henry College Wasps and the communities we all serve together. First Community Bank, member FDIC. Also, Emory and Henry basketball is brought to you tonight by Food Country USA, the food specialist since 1914. Locally owned and operated, Food Country is a proud supporter of Emory and Henry College.
So I asked Coach Thompson about what he wanted to work on in these two games. We're going to play Warren Wilson again on Thursday here at 7:15. It will be a live stream event only, not on WEHC. He said, we just really want to work on us getting better. We have so many young and new guys getting minutes, and any extra game time will be helpful to them moving forward.
You know, that's one thing about the COVID impact on athletics. It's been hard for any team to get any sort of momentum this year.
Yeah, the teams with more experience have such a huge advantage. Ball inside against the zone. Turnaround jumper by Davis, hits everything but the bottom of the net, and Rodriguez comes away with it for the Wasps. He takes it all the way in transition. It won't fall, and battling for the rebound, he falls out of bounds with it. So it will be Warren Wilson ball.
You know, one of the things I think that Antonelli does a good job of, he's a true point guard, and he gets his team settled down, he gets them set up, and they start to run things. I think when we start getting a little willy-nilly, to use your old phrase.
Yeah, that's mine.
It doesn't work very well for us. I think that goes back to being such a young team.
So Emory and Henry looks like we're playing a 1-2-2 zone now. The Owls kind of stymied looking at it. Ball on the right-hand baseline, skip all the way across to Whiteside, left baseline. He takes one dribble pull-up, long two, and drops that one through the net. 19-23, Emory and Henry trails here. Antonelli looks like he's going to take the three, decides not to. Setting up the offense here. We're under 9.5 minutes to play first quarter action. Ball screen by Morgan, inside to Morgan. He's able to handle it, put it on the floor, kick it out to Arnold, and trying to make a move. Arnold gets called for the travel. Well, I asked Coach about Antonelli's five assists, 0 turnover performance at Roanoke. And he said, you know, he's just such an intelligent player. He figures things out and progresses very quickly, or processes things quickly. Back to that in a minute. As the Owls try to get the ball inside and it gets knocked out of bounds by Antonelli. We're talking about him. 14 on the shot clock. Owls will have the ball underneath their basket. Emory and Henry playing a zone here, I think. Skip it way outside. Now back to the inbounder in the corner. Around the perimeter to Davis, and he walks as he puts the ball on the floor after he takes a step. He says the guys love playing with him because, I'm talking about Antonelli, because he makes things easier for them. He's grown a lot throughout the season as well. So Antonelli getting some praise from Coach Thompson. Now it looks like the Owls are playing a little bit of a zone here. Rodriguez takes the three on the left-hand wing, lips out. Keene's there battling for the rebound but can't get it. It's brought in by Davis. He crosses over. Morgan now kicks it out to the perimeter. I thought that was a walk. And the long two by Whiteside falls for him as Emory and Henry trails by 6, 19-25. Rodriguez, now we're passing around the perimeter. Arnold, one dribble, long three, too long. Rebound by Davis of the Owls. In transition, gets the pass ahead to Kaiser. Now back to Davis. Davis, Euro step shot does fall. And now Emory and Henry trails by 8. In transition, Arnold goes 1-on-4, but gets it to the rim and gets it to fall. 7:45 remaining. Emory and Henry trails 21-27. Jackson, right-hand wing to Davis. Now corner to Kaiser. Back up top, long three by Bailey, no good. Antonelli for the Wasps comes out in transition with the rebound. Dribbles through. Really long three by Rodriguez, and he drains it.
We have a timeout on the floor by Warren Wilson. I think that'll be their first timeout.
So 7:22 remaining here. First half action. Emory and Henry has cut the deficit to 3. So I asked Coach about next season, about recruits. I've seen some, in fact, track and field and cross country have lit up social media in the last 24 hours with their commitments, and I've seen some from other sports, and he said they haven't made any announcements yet. Probably in April, once all the guys sign. So he says they have 5 commitments already. An important official visit coming up this week, so keep your eye on social media for commitments for men's basketball for next season.
You know, Emory and Henry has made its application to the NCAA for realignment to Division II, and so recruiting has taken on an entirely different look for all the teams at Emory and Henry this year.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So Emory and Henry back to half-court man-to-man defense. High post set, get the ball inside there, it gets knocked away. And it gets knocked away again by Morgan, but it's off Morgan. And it will be Owls' ball on the sideline here. 19 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And Emory and Henry trailing by 3. Davis with the ball out of bounds. Can't find anybody to get it to. Skips it all the way across the floor to Bailey. Now back to Davis. And it's deflected by Morgan. He gets it, and in transition gives it up to Rodriguez. Great defensive play by the Wasps.
Absolutely. It's good.
So I thought they were playing man-to-man. Looks like they double-teamed on that somehow. Yeah, they're playing man-to-man. But
we got a big mismatch.
Yeah, this defensive pressure causes another turnover. Morgan with the Euro step gets past his man, draws the foul, finishes the shot, and Emory and Henry now takes a 1-point lead. Simply off the enthusiasm and effort on the defensive end of the court to change things up for Emory and Henry's offensive fortunes there.
And Malcolm Morgan, the last couple of trips down the floor, really picking his team up on the defensive end, leading to a couple of easy buckets on the offensive end.
Well, I asked Coach about Morgan and Malcolm and Kevin because they had Malcolm had 18 points and 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals at the Roanoke game. And Kevin came off the bench for 12 points, and he said that Malcolm and Kevin continue to grow and improve, that they've been much better this year than last, and we believe that trend will continue for these 2 guys. I also asked about Robert Holliday, Jr. I didn't know he wasn't going to play tonight, but he thinks Robert will probably play professionally somewhere next year, that he's spoken with a couple of agents on his behalf. They're going through the vetting process, but they've heard from Malta, Ireland, and Spain seem the most likely destinations for him, so good outlook for Robert Holliday, Jr.
You know, Robert's career has always been filled with ups and downs. He transferred here from SUNY Canton when Coach Thompson came to Emory and Henry, and then missed most of last year with an injury. But, you know, Robert he's a super hard worker, and we hope that works out for him to get a chance to play in Europe next year.
I asked Coach about the progress he saw between the 2 Roanoke games. We played Roanoke the first game of the season, and then the last game in the first round of the ODAC, and he said he thinks that his team progressed quite a bit, that the scores, may not show that, but our guys feel like they fought through adversity and have grown, and it's something he's really proud of. That shot's no good for Morgan, and the Owls come down, spread the floor again against the man-to-man defense, and take it inside and score at the rim to take the 1-point lead. 6:26 first half, and the Owls are playing a 1-2-2, it looks like. Emory and Henry passes around the perimeter. Rodriguez gets the three from the right-hand wing. It's long. Emory and Henry battles for the rebound, for the long rebound, but the Owls come away with it. Right-hand wing, that's Day, takes it inside. And as he tries to find somebody penetrate, drew the defense, as you want to do, but he took too many steps there before he got rid of the ball, so turnover for the Owls. Pretty turnover-free at this point after the first flurry of turnovers. Banks with the ball on the left-hand wing, skips over to Rodriguez. Now back to Antonelli, gets it at the high post to Morgan, who kicks it out to Banks, and in the left-hand corner, Banks knocks down the three. Emory and Henry now leads by 2, 31-29, 5:41. In transition, Kaiser takes the three for the Owls, and the long rebound comes to Rodriguez. He lowers his shoulder, gets past two defenders, drops the layup, and draws the foul.
I don't know if you saw Micah Banks over there on the wing. There's nobody that has more fun playing the game than he does. He is so excited for his teammates when things go well. He's just full of energy and just a lot of fun to watch.
So Rodriguez goes to the line with the opportunity to stretch out the Emory and Henry 4-point lead, and does. So now Emory and Henry leads 34-29 with 5:32 remaining.
Back in the game for Emory and Henry, number 1, Tyler Arnold. He comes in for Rodriguez.
Arnold's got 10 points on the night, as he said early. He was our scorer. He was everything we had. He's 4 of 9 from the field. He hit 2 early threes and then found a drought from the three-point line, but he's got 10 points already on the night. Rodriguez with 9. So Emory and Henry looks like we're playing man-to-man now as the Owls come down, spread out, and looks like they're running the flex cut again on the baseline, like they're running flex. Yep. Down screen, cross screen.
There's some things that are timeless. Flex, triangle, those things, it doesn't matter how old you are, they continue to work.
Who was I watching? Some women's game on TV, and they were running some offense we probably ran when you were a player. I'm like, I can't remember the name of that. I'm sure it was the name of a state. Now the three-point attempt by the Owls is no good. Day battles for the rebound, comes away with it at the free throw line, takes it to the rim, won't fall, and on the battle for the rebound, Emory and Henry's going to draw the foul.
Dylan Catron taking the brunt of that foul. Emory and Henry's in 1-1 now, so that'll send Catron to the free throw line.
As he walks slowly there like he's trying to shake off the impact. Emory and Henry leads by 5, just over 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Catron's first free throw up and good.
I tell you, Dylan's one of the hardest working. I mean, if you're around the gym anytime in the summertime or over breaks, you'll always see Dylan in the gym working to get better.
Second one is good for his first 2 points of the night. Owls swinging around the perimeter, getting space, and now Emory and Henry clogs up that when they try to penetrate the middle of the defense. We're getting some early help there that caused some confusion there. The ball rolls out of bounds off Emory and Henry defender. They get the ball in today in the middle of the lane. He tries to go up, acrobatic, no good. Catron battles for the rebound. It goes out of bounds off. I think it went off Davis. Anyway, it's off. What did they call a foul?
They did. Davis picked up a foul there. It's his second. sending Catron back to the line again.
So 4:50 remaining in the first half. Emory and Henry's lead is 7, 36-29. Remind you at halftime to stay tuned to the radio or streaming for Emory and Henry in sports history. Ketron's first shot is good. I'm looking for the
substitution. DeMarco Jackson coming back into the game for Warren Wilson, in for number 4, Deshaun Goodine.
second shot is no good by Catron. Emory and Henry lead is 8. Oh, golly, that was an offensive push-off. Yep. Well, he tried to make the pass, and Morgan's there just to pick it off. So DeMarco Jackson was setting up the offense for the Owls, and he just pushed off on Malcolm Morgan. Morgan just jumped in the air and took the pass away. He was trying to make an entry pass to the high post and takes it down and scores it. Now Emory and Henry's lead is 10. Emory and Henry looks like we're playing man-to-man. Down on the baseline is Davis trying to work. He puts it up, but doesn't hit anything. Puts it up again. Now he draws a foul, I think.
Foul's going to be on number 42, Catron. That's Dylan's first foul, 15th foul for the Wasps.
So that'll send Davis to the line. First shot's really too strong.
It's certainly been a game of runs here in the first half.
Davis was 0 of 3 in their game from the free throw line the other day, and now he's 0 for tonight. He's 0 of 2. Emory and Henry battles for the rebound, and on that, a foul's going to be called.
Foul's be on number 10, Brent Davis. That's his third foul. Warren Wilson's 9th for the first half, sending number 4, Malcolm Morgan, to the line. Into the game for Warren Wilson now. 0, Saquon Bell.
As I was saying about Emory and Henry in sports history today at halftime, David St. Clair will be talking about 1973 Emory and Henry grad, men's basketball player and record holder, and Emory and Henry Sports Hall of Fame member Kenny Woods. First shot by Morgan is good. Emory and Henry stretches the lead 40-29 with 4:06 remaining in the first half. And the second shot rolls around and falls for Morgan. He's a 69% free throw shooter. As the Owls try to take it inside, Emory and Henry's defense collapses on that. And there's 4 Emory and Henry defenders there and 1 Owl battling for the ball, but it goes out of bounds, as the odds would be with 4 of us, off of us. 21 on the shot clock. Owls have it underneath their basket. Now the officials are going to have a small group discussion. 3:56 remaining. 41-29 is the Wasp advantage.
Talking about Emory and Henry alumni, how about Coach Mike Young from Virginia Tech,
really?
ACC Coach of the Year.
Emory proud. Mike Young, one of the all-time best guys you'd ever want to know, and obviously a great basketball coach as well for the Hokies up the road at Virginia Tech in his second season after a stellar career at Wofford. The Owls passing around the perimeter, sending a cutter through the middle, and now they're just going to take it to the rim, which is what they were doing all along anyway. Kaiser takes it to the rim, draws the foul.
And Dylan Catron picks up his second foul of the half. You know, you were talking about Coach Mike Young. Just an incredibly bright coach, such a student of the game. And I was here when Coach Young played at Emory and Henry, and he was a student of the game even when he was a player here, and it certainly paid off for him.
Yep. We saw him last year when we went up to Virginia Tech for the Special Olympics. We had a Special Olympic basketball group from here at Emory, and we were up there with them, and he and his team were there. And that second shot's also good for Kaiser. Emory and Henry's lead is 10, and he brought some of his guys came over and hung out at our court the whole Day, encouraging the young people playing in the Special Olympics. Emory and Henry spreads the perimeter. Arnold up top to Morgan. Keene with the ball on the left-hand wing. Looks at two cutters, doesn't get either one of those. Antonelli with it at top. That's a great cut by Morgan, a great feed by Antonelli.
Just a little head fake. Got the defender looking up.
12-point lead for the Wasp. Owls taking it inside, dumping it down to Davis. Davis gets it to go off the backboard, cuts it back to a 10-point Emory and Henry lead. Antonelli sets up, gives it to Keene on the right-hand wing, cuts through. Now Morgan over to Arnold, left-hand wing. Arnold gets past his defender, kicks it out to Rodriguez. Yeah, he had two defenders inside waiting on him, and so he gave it up, but he couldn't stop his momentum from knocking the defender to the floor.
I seem to remember an old coach telling me one time, nothing good happens when you leave your feet.
Yeah, I like to do that too. Under 3 in the first half action, Emory and Henry with a 10-point lead as DeMarco Jackson takes it inside and gets it taken away. Antonelli comes out with it in transition. He gets it inside behind the back. I believe that was to Keene. Now back to Antonelli. Outside to Rodriguez. The three's on the way and drains it. 46-33, 13-point lead, just over 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Owls 5 on the perimeter, swinging it around. Now a cutter comes through. That's Ledbetter. He gets it stripped away.
Number 4 again, Malcolm Morgan causing the turnover.
Poor old Arnold. We have thrown it at his feet more times today than at his hands.
That's got to be it. Where's the red flag? We need to look at that one again.
So the Owls come down in transition. Emory and Henry, we both thought had a defender set, but they're gonna call a block on Antonelli as the Owls came down in transition, knocked him to the deck. That's 18 fouls for the Wasps, 9 for the Owls, as Davis will go to the free throw line for, I've been calling him Davis. That's Day, sorry. Jerry, I'm sorry, your parents. That's Day. His shot's good. He's in their one game this year, 83% free throw shooter. Emory and Henry leads by a dozen. Under 2 first half. Second shot also good by Day. With 11-point lead, Rodriguez brings it down, calls out the play. Up comes Keene for the ball screen. He's going to slip it. Rodriguez is going to take the really long three, and it's really long. Won't fall. Pass ahead in transition. Gets nothing there for the Owls. Back to Day. Day spin move. Pull-up jumper. Fall away is good for Day.
Yeah, Day's been effective in the paint.
Yeah, he has been. And he creates things for other players. So now Emory and Henry just leads by 9 with 1:25 remaining in the first half. Rodriguez, ball screen. Handoff to Morgan. No, it's Banks, sorry. Morgan with the ball now. Looks at Arnold. Kicks it out. Knocks down the three by Morgan. 49-37, 12 points for the advantage for the Wasps with just over a minute left in the first half action. Around the perimeter. Now inside is Ledbetter. Puts it off the rim, no good, and in transition comes Emory and Henry. Arnold spins.
That's going to be a charge, yeah.
Spins and knocks somebody to the deck again. So 52.8 remaining.
Now Arnold picks up his second foul. Andrew Hensley entering the game for Arnold now. Andrew is a freshman from Kingsport, Tennessee.
Played at Gate City High School. Lots of champions from the Gate City High School. 12-point advantage for Emory and Henry. 43 seconds remaining. Day with the ball at the high post. Puts it on the floor. Tries to get around two defenders. Gets knocked down. Gets knocked again. Gets knocked again. Now finally gets it up. And when Emory and Henry battles for the rebound, they draw the foul. Day was just going to keep putting it up, and we were just going to keep knocking it away.
Now you mentioned Gate City. We've had some incredibly talented players come out of Gate City. Right now we have several players on several student athletes at Emory and Henry, but when you think of Gate City, you think of Mac McClung, who's setting on fire at Texas Tech right now.
So Emory and Henry has had a banner week this week. Of course, all the sports are playing just about now, but we had 3 student athletes recognized as ODAC Players of the Week, beginning with Alex Braun, who is Softball Player of the Week. She's a pitcher and a designated player from Lexington, South Carolina. It's her first time she's been named Player of the Week in her career. On the week last week, she went 8 of 12 with 6 extra base hits, driving in 5 runs and scoring 3 runs as we swept Maryville and Meredith. The team is now 8-0. She also won 2 games pitching, striking out 20 with no walks. She's first in the ODAC in batting, on-base percentage, slugging, hits, doubles, home runs, and RBIs. So I don't know how she's not exhausted. Second shot is also good for Rodriguez, and Emory and Henry now with the 14-point advantage with 22 seconds remaining in the first half. Owls get the ball inside, kick it back out to Jackson. One dribble, long pull-up, no good off the front of the rim. Rebound battled for. Owls come away with it, and Rodriguez sends it almost into the cheerleaders who were in the far corner.
The shot clock is off now with 11.5 seconds in the half.
Owls will have the ball on their sideline, far sideline. Emory and Henry in man-to-man. Sends a cutter through. Now gives it to the left baseline. He tries to get inside. Oh, finds a cutter. That was a great play by the Owls.
Yeah, it was good.
To score at just as the buzzer goes off. 51-39 is the Emory and Henry advantage as we go into halftime. So we'll send it back to Carson Blum. We want to thank Carson for running the board for us most of the time throughout basketball season. We'll send it back to him for Emory and Henry in sports history with today's feature about Kenny Woods. And we'll be back with going online at gowasp.com. And there's a link there for you to purchase your tickets online if you'd like to attend in person at limited attendance at outdoor ODAC athletic contest.
You know, this is a big game for Emory and Henry football. WNL has announced this week that they've suspended their football program for the rest of the season and will no longer be playing football in the ODAC until next fall. So Emory and Henry, if they're able to pick up a win over Guilford, will be playing for a conference championship after a 3-week break. They had a bye week, and then we're supposed to play WNL. So big game on Friday for sure.
So to start second half action here, the Warren Wilson Owls with the ball first. Emory and Henry looks like we're playing a zone here. And as they try to skip it across the zone, Tyler Arnold picks that off and lays it out at the rim to give Emory and Henry the 14-point lead, scoring with just 15 seconds gone in the second half of action. Now we're back in man-to-man. Day takes it inside, goes to the rim, off the glass, draws the foul, finishes the shot.
Yeah, that's on Catron. That'll be his, I don't think it is. I think it's on number 4, Malcolm Morgan. That's his second foul.
Day, again, an 83% free throw shooter. Let's see what he's doing here today. 2 of 2.
I think Day's been impressive for the Owls.
Yeah, he has been.
He's a workhorse, that's for sure.
Oh, that one goes halfway down and comes out for the heartbreak for the Owls. Emory and Henry 14-point lead and the ball. Antonelli brings it up, double screen at the top for Antonelli. Now he gives it to Arnold on the step out, almost a miscue there. Now down low, tries to find Ketron. His defender steps in front, deflects it, and Warren Wilson comes away with it. Jackson takes it inside against Banks and draws the foul.
That foul is going to be on Micah Banks. It'll be his second foul, second team foul for the Wasp in the second half. So Emory and Henry in the second half, a little bit like the first half, come out with a couple of turnovers there.
Jackson 2 of 4 at the free throw line today. He was 7 of 7 in their contest last week. If you're joining us, it's Emory and Henry men's basketball playing Warren Wilson Owls, and that first shot is up and good for Jackson. And second shot rolls around, no good. Rebound brought out by Morgan, who gives it up to Antonelli to set up the offense for Emory and Henry. High post action here. Antonelli passes to the left-hand wing, cuts through. Banks with it, delivers it up top to Morgan. Antonelli gets inside, kicks it out. Banks with 3 on the way, no good, too strong. Rebound battled for, and it's brought out by Jackson. He goes all the way to the rim, gets it tapped away, and Emory and Henry gathers up the rebound. Banks in transition, lays it off the glass, too strong. Day comes away with the rebound for the Owls. We're just running back and forth, and in transition gives it up to Jackson. It's no good, down low, and the foul will be called on Emory and Henry on the stick back, I believe.
Malcolm Morgan picks up another foul for his third foul of the game. Emory and Henry still at the third team foul with Warren Wilson not committing a foul yet in the second half.
So in the first minute and 45 seconds, we've committed 3 fouls. First shot is good for Jackson.
You know, the Wasps just need to settle down a little bit on the offensive end. You know, they've got the lead. They don't need to be forcing things at this point.
Second shot's good for Jackson. Well, this will be a good opportunity for Emory and Henry to put some of the lessons they've had in games where they weren't able to win into play and see if we can come away with the win. Find Ketron down low. He makes a spin move and spins back and goes to his right and gets it to finish. Emory and Henry now 11-point lead, 18 minutes remaining in play. Davis takes it up.
And that's a charge on Davis.
Takes it up. knocks his defender to the floor, gets called for the charge.
That's his 4th foul here early in the second half. Coming in for Davis is number 22, Jayden Wentz.
Davis had 16 points and 8 rebounds in their earlier game this season. 11-point lead for the Wasp, under 18 minutes to play. Antonelli gets inside, picks up his dribble, finds a cutter. Yeah. Nice finish by Banks. 57-44, Wasp lead. Jackson gives it up to Day. Now middle to Kaiser. Won't fall, battle for the rebound. Goes off Emory and Henry.
Emory and Henry had 4 rebounders there to Warren Wilson's 1. Came up empty. Ball goes to Warren Wilson on the baseline.
20 on the shot clock. Float the ball up top. Oh, and it's deflected by Antonelli, who lays it up ahead for Arnold on the transition. They wanted Arnold to go for the dunk, but he didn't have the right footsteps. And Emory and Henry with a 15-point lead. Under 17 and a half minutes remaining in the half. Spin move by Ledbetter falls in. 13-point lead for the Wasps. Antonelli brings it up right-hand side. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Arnold, right-hand wing. Looks inside at Ketron. Ketron working hard. Arnold puts up the 3 and nails it.
Antonelli with the 3 there.
62-46.
Another turnover by Warren Wilson.
So Ledbetter trying to make a move against Antonelli. Shuffles his feet. That's 12 turnovers for the Owls. 62-46, under 17. Antonelli with the ball up top. Ketron steps up for the ball screen. Good screen. Kicks it over to Banks. Banks with 3 on the way. No good. Rebound. Oh, Rodriguez goes up over his man. He goes up over Jayden Wentz, gets the rebound, and on the stick back, he draws the foul.
You know, Coach Thompson talking to his point guard and his big guy over here on the sidelines.
So Rodriguez goes to the free throw line for the Wasps. Knocks down the first one. He's been 65% free throw shooter on the season.
Rodriguez now at the line for his 2nd of a pair.
And he's perfect, 5 of 5 from the line for tonight's game. Sorry we didn't talk, but I was hoping, I was busy concentrating on him knocking down that shot. The Owls take it to the rim. That was Jackson, and then he does a little, what's that called? Who did that move? Was that Wall? The Kentucky player that started that little flex.
Yeah.
And he did a little 2-arm flex thing there after he made the shot.
Nice backdoor cut.
Man, great backdoor cut.
Yeah.
High post pass from Ketron to Arnold. Emory and Henry, 18-point lead, 16 minutes remaining. Kaiser with the ball on the left-hand wing. Whiteside takes it inside, off the glass, scores it over Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's
16-point lead for the Wasp, under 16 minutes to play.
Whiteside's had a couple of easy opportunities like that, making a good cut to the basket.
2-man game on this side, trying to get the ball inside to Ketron. We enter it from the point position. Rodriguez gets it down low to Ketron. It gets tied up, the possession arrow in favor of Emory and Henry. So with 17 on the shot clock.
You know, that's one thing that I can see here at towards the end of the season, over the beginning of the season. You know, coach has got a lot of young players, but they're starting to play a little more team basketball.
Right.
Beginning of the year was a lot of isolation stuff. Led to some tough decisions down the stretch, but you can definitely see improvement.
The Owls playing zone. Emory and Henry just skipping around the perimeter to find Banks on the left-hand wing, and he drains a 3 for the 19-point advantage for Emory and Henry. 15-18 remaining in the game.
Yeah,
Owls, same thing. Moving around the perimeter, get it down to the low block. Now kick it back out. Ledbetter's 3's on the way, and that's good. Match mano y mano from the three-point line.
That's right. That's only the second three-pointer for Warren Wilson.
Antonelli finds Arnold. Arnold drives the baseline and draws, and Day draws the charge on Arnold as he is trying to skip the ball by penetrating the baseline. As we said in the women's game the other day, nothing seems good to be happening when we're going to the baseline.
That's right. That's Arnold's third foul, and he'll come to the sideline with number 4, Malcolm Morgan, checking back into the game.
And Arnold's leading Emory and Henry with 18 points.
Now, Emory and Henry's 10 of 21 behind the arc.
That's got to be a season high. Whiteside tries to make a move. And what foul did we
called
get?
an illegal screen there on number 12, Tariq Kaiser.
Under 15 to play. Emory and Henry with the 16-point lead and the ball. And playing without Robert Holliday Jr., our leading scorer and rebounder. So even more emphasis on the teamwork. Keene with the ball at the right-hand wing. Antonelli gets it back. Keene posts up down low, can't get it to him. Penetrate, kick it out. Now back out to Antonelli. Antonelli's three's on the way, and it's good. Antonelli's that classic point guard. Okay, you're going to make me score? Okay, I will, but I'm not shooting unless I'm going to make it. He's 2 for 2 from the three-point line tonight, if I'm correct without looking. Morgan with it, penetrates, gives it back to Antonelli. He goes baseline, and something good happens at the baseline. Antonelli draws the foul on Day.
Ruined my theory, Coach.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about it since last week. Antonelli's a 2 for 2 from 3 tonight, with 3 rebounds and 9 assists on the game.
That's exactly what you want from your point guard there.
Exactly. Emory and Henry enjoying 18 assists on their 25 made field goals. With the ball underneath their basket, find a wide open Rodriguez, and when he anticipates the contact, he puts it up too strong off the glass. The Owls come away with the miss. Passing around the perimeter, I think that's Jackson who put up that shot, I'm not sure, but Banks comes away with it in transition. Emory and Henry can't fall. Rodriguez is there for the second stick back there. He will get it to fall.
Yeah, Corey King kept that ball alive, and Rodriguez was able to grab it and put it in the bucket.
Kaiser penetrates, gives it up, no good for Ledbetter. Comes up short. Emory and Henry now with 21-point lead, their largest of the day. And Rodriguez three-point shot's no good.
That's going to be a charge.
Yeah, Morgan got the rebound, found a cutting Rodriguez, gave it to him, but he wasn't going to stop and plowed over the Warren Wilson defender.
So we've got a media timeout here at Emory and Henry with 13:28 to go in the second half. Emory and Henry leads 74-53. While we have a break in the action, Emory and Henry basketball is brought to you by First Community Bank. First Community Bank thrives on building relationships with businesses and individuals as we shoot for a better tomorrow. We're a proud supporter of the Emory and Henry College WASP and the communities we all serve together. First Community Bank is a member of FDIC. Also sponsoring Emory and Henry basketball tonight is Food Country USA, the food specialist since 1914. Locally owned and operated, Food Country is a proud supporter of Emory and Henry College.
Let's talk about the last student athlete to be honored this week from Emory and Henry with an Old Dominion Athletic Conference Athlete of the Week, Ed Raynor from track and field. It's the first time in program history that a member of Emory and Henry's track and field program has earned this weekly honor from the conference. He set a school record in the discus. He won the discus at the North River Invitational at Bridgewater on Saturday. He won the shot put, and he was second in the hammer throw. So congratulations to Ed for his Athlete of the Week. Emory and Henry Track and Field will compete next at the EMU Legacy Meet on Friday, April the 2nd. So congratulations to Donovan Penix, Football Defensive Player of the Week, Ed Raynor for Outdoor Track and Field Athlete of the Week, and Alex Braun, ODAC Softball Player of the Week. It's raining ODAC Players of the Week here at the campus.
What a great problem to have.
Yeah, 13:25 remaining. Emory and Henry with a 21-point lead. The Owls with the ball at the top of the perimeter. Jackson dribbles around, finds a cutter. Jackson and he acrobatic too, won't fall. Antonelli comes away with the rebound.
And Jackson feels like he should have gotten the foul there, but
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. That's right.
Down low to Keene. Keene working against his defender. Spin move. Can't get inside, so he just puts it up off of nothing. He was hoping for the foul, too. And in transition, Ledbetter scores for the Owls, and now they pick up a little full-court pressure. Banks just dribbles through it, goes all the way, finds Keene down on the left-hand block. Keene has to put it up as he's knocked to the deck.
Oh, good hustle by
Great effort
Banks.
by Banks, yeah. People standing around watching, and Banks is playing. 12 and a half minutes remaining. Emory and Henry with a 19-point lead. 8 on the shot clock. I hope they recognize that as we take our time here. Rodriguez puts up the acrobatic shot. It doesn't hit anything. Keene gets a rebound, slings it up, doesn't hit anything, and shot clock violation for Emory and Henry.
Yeah, Keene a little frustrated there. It feels like he's should have gotten the call there a couple times.
That's 3 possessions in a row players have been crying about this.
That's right.
Not getting the call. 12-14, Emory and Henry 74. Warren Wilson 55. As the Wasp in man-to-man defense, Warren Wilson.
Another offensive foul on Warren Wilson for an illegal screen. Number
again.
1, Tyler Whiteside.
No, that was on Tariq Kaiser again.
Oh, you're right.
So just over 12 remaining. 74-55 is the advantage for Emory and Henry. Around the perimeter we go. Banks with it at the top. Looks inside at posting up Morgan. Won't be able to get it there. Antonelli now with it. Goes off the ball screen. Gives it step out to Morgan. His three's no good, but Rodriguez is battling for the rebound. And as he does, he has his arm wrapped around Jackson for the Owls, and he gets called for the foul.
That's Rodriguez's second foul. Emory and Henry 6 personal. So Warren Wilson will be in the 1-and-1, be in the bonus here on the next Emory and Henry foul.
Man-to-man defense as Jackson dribbles over, now dribbles back. He's going to take the long jumper at the free throw line and knocks it down just beyond the free throw line. Now Emory and Henry's lead is sliced to 17 as full court pressure by the Owls. Emory and Henry taking some time to get the ball down. Oh gosh, there's a turnover in transition as we tried to hit somebody without facing all the way up. Now the Owls come down in transition, put it up off the backboard too strong. Keene comes away with it for Emory and Henry, gives it up to Rodriguez. He finds Antonelli on the right baseline, and I jinxed Antonelli by talking about point guards shooting when they're going to make it. It bounces off the back of the rim, but as if they planned it, Rodriguez is there. It was Rodriguez, wasn't it, for the stick back?
No, actually it was number 4, Malcolm Morgan.
So Morgan was there as if they had planned it to tap it in. Now with 11 minutes remaining, Emory and Henry's lead is 19, if I'm doing the math right, 76-57. Kevin Rodriguez now with 19 points, Malcolm Morgan with 12 for the Wasps.
Emory and Henry's 11 of 25 behind the arc, shooting 44% from 3 points. Definitely allows you to rack up points pretty quickly when you're shooting that well.
Yeah, the Owls aren't shooting that badly from the floor. They're 45%, which will win you many a game, but their 15 turnovers aren't helping their cause any, and they're just 2 of 9 from the three-point line.
Those 15 turnovers by Warren Wilson has contributed to 29 of Emory and Henry's 76 points right now. So Emory and Henry able to capitalize on the miscues by the Owls. You know, you were talking about Edward Raynor from the track team. Coach Leroy Worley's doing a great job with that program. We set 4 school records at the meet at Bridgewater this past weekend. So that's going to be a fun program to watch grow and thrive here at Emory and Henry over the next several seasons.
Yeah, Ed's been working. I had him in class, I think, his freshman year. So I've known him, he's a junior now, I think, if I've got that correct. I have that correct, and it's been fun watching him transform and continue to improve. So coming out from timeout, Emory and Henry leads by 19, playing man-to-man defense as Jackson takes it in for the Owls and lays it off the glass and scores it. 17-point lead now for Emory and Henry, facing 1-2-1-1 full court pressure by the Owls. Emory and Henry passes and then gets it across the half-court line to Rodriguez, who gives it back to Antonelli, and the Owls fall into man-to-man defense in the half-court. Rodriguez with the ball on the left baseline, skips it over to Banks. Banks to Antonelli, thinks about the shot, takes it inside, tries to put up the floater, does put up the floater, draws the foul on Whiteside. And there you are, perfect example again of a point guard. He's a freshman. He's got his team huddled up there at the half-court line, and he's pointing and talking and directing and telling them about what he wants them to do.
Yeah, a good point guard's a coach on the floor, that's for sure. And Antonelli's getting really comfortable in that role, and his teammates are responding.
So Antonelli's first free throw is up and finishes that one. And the second one, he's only 50% shooter on the year, but he's 3 for 3 for tonight. And Emory and Henry now with the 19-point spread here on the visiting Owls. Owls working around the perimeter. There's Day again. He's great on that fall away.
Yeah,
2 dribbles, he gets to the paint, he falls away with it and knocks it down. Yeah. 78-61.
A little stop and pop action there.
Emory and Henry breaks the press. Antonelli sets up offense against the man-to-man defense. Banks with the ball on the left-hand wing, goes off a screen by Keene, gets it past 2 defenders, puts it up, but only hits the bottom of the rim, and the Owls come away. Yeah, thank you for calling that foul.
Another offensive foul.
The guy from way over here had to call it, but in transition they were going about 45 miles an hour down the court. And Marco Jackson with the ball, just kind of a stiff arm, kind of arm bar his defender away. Emory and Henry passing against this full court pressure. And then Antonelli dribbles it across the line. 18 on the shot clock now. We got to get moving quick. Keene posts up with Banks with the ball on the left-hand wing. Morgan, dribble handoff. Nope, yep. Antonelli with it. Calls for the ball screen, looks inside, can't get it there. 3 on the shot clock, so Keene just has to put it up. And if you're going to have to just put it up, you might as well just knock down the 3.
How about the big guy outside arc there?
Yeah, I'm not sure he's known for his three-point shooting, but he knocked it down on this one. And now Day tries to work on Keene, and Keene just is relentless. Now Keene tries to get it back to Antonelli, and Day takes it away. And in an effort to save it from going out of bounds, Day just has to sling it, and there's 3 Emory players there to gather it up. Antonelli setting up the offense, handoff to Banks. Banks tries to get inside, gives it to Antonelli, right baseline, no good. Rebound by Day. Sorry, Patrick, I should not have talked about your three-point shooting. And in transition, there's 2 times we've done that, and Day's taken away from him. In transition, the Owls can't hit it. Emory and Henry gets the rebound, and not paying enough attention on the outlet pass, Day's there to deflect it and take it away.
Yeah, Day's one of those kids that you have on the floor. He's always moving, hands are always moving, just making things happen. And I've been impressed with the young man tonight.
He seems to have a good understanding of how basketball works. And that shot's no good by Day.
So in for Keene, back in the game's number 42, Dylan Catron.
Day's an 83% free throw shooter. He missed that first one there. And finishes the second one, so he's does that make him 4 of 6 for the night? 6, 4 of 5.
Yeah, Warren Wilson back in that 1-2-1-1 full court press.
But they don't ever get to the point where they trap it. Emory and Henry's been deliberate with their attack of that, and the three-point shot from the corner by Rodriguez is no good. And here comes Day with it. Gives it up to Turner. Turner's three-point shot's no good, and Emory and Henry gets a run out here on the long rebound as Rodriguez gets the layup all by himself, and Emory and Henry stretches to a 21-point lead.
There's number 4, Malcolm Morgan again on the defensive end.
7:45 remaining. Day with the ball on the left-hand wing. Gives it to Bailey. Bailey up to Whiteside. Whiteside takes it again against Ketron, lays it up high, and scores it. 83-64, 7:30 remaining. Emory and Henry again, deliberate against this press. Pass ahead, get it across the half-court line to Rodriguez. He holds on to it a little bit too long, if you ask me, and gets double-teamed. We get out of that trap. Antonelli with it on the left-hand wing. 10 on the shot clock. Down low to Ketron. Ketron is going to get called for the offensive foul, and he did. He gets ready to make his move, goes one way, shoves the defender to the floor, and then comes back the other way.
Day a little slow getting up from that.
He's probably a little bit tired.
Yeah, he plays hard, that's for sure. Saquon Bell back in the game for number 11, Jacob Jackson for Warren Wilson. So Warren Wilson going with a little bigger lineup here.
That's 2 fouls on Ketron. 7:04, 83-64, Emory and Henry leads. Ball screen for Bailey, and he tries to pass it down low, and it gets deflected out of bounds. Emory and Henry will take possession on the end line. And we have timeout here on the floor. Emory and Henry leads 83-64 with 6:54 left to play. Well, let's talk about upcoming events. You want to?
Sure.
Sure, let's do. Where is that? Well, Friday. Let's see, what day are we on now? We're on Tuesday. Tennis is playing. Men's and women's tennis is playing today. I don't know what the result is. We'll look here in a second, see if we can find it.
Actually, the tennis match today was postponed.
Okay, so we're not playing.
So the next game will be here in the King Center on Thursday night for men's basketball. And then the women's soccer team will travel to Roanoke College for an ODAC contest at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Also playing again, we've already talked a little bit about it, the football game be our second and final home game unless we are able to host in the championship game. We'll be playing Guilford at 2 o'clock. And then on Saturday, we have a full slate of activities here. Softball will be playing a doubleheader beginning at 10 a.m. against Transylvania and against Newport News at 12:30. Baseball will be at Bridgewater for a doubleheader at noon and 3:30. And then softball, or women's tennis will be against W&L at Emory and Henry at 1 p.m., followed by men's soccer at 6 p.m.
Back into action here again against this press. Emory and Henry deliberate passing. I don't think we took maybe one dribble in that whole series getting it down. It's taken time off the shot clock's really what's happening. We get it down low to Ketron now on the give back to Antonelli. It gets out of bounds. It gets knocked out to the wing to Banks. Now back to Antonelli at the top with 5 on the shot clock. Ketron on the step out, and Ketron knocks down the 3. He's more comfortable for what's Ketron's size? He's 6'8". He'd rather be out there shooting the 3, wouldn't he?
He that little pick and roll he's been able to have some success with this year.
Day goes inside, gets his own rebound on the miss, gives it up to Whiteside. He misses, and Emory and Henry bats the ball out of bounds. 6:07 remaining, 86-64 in men's basketball action as Emory and Henry is taking on the Warren Wilson Owls. 20 on the shot clock. Ball up top to Bailey. He looks for it down low. It gets deflected away. Shot goes up. No good. Rebound. No good. Rebound. And finally, I think that's Whiteside finishes it. I couldn't see who the people were putting the shots up.
4 offensive rebounds there for Warren Wilson. Emory and Henry's got to box out.
Emory and Henry passes ahead against the zone to Rodriguez. He gets double teamed. He gets deflected. His pass to Antonelli, but Banks is able to track it down.
I was going to say the shot clock should have reset there. Now, good pickup by the official. Warren Wilson took possession of the ball, which should have reset the shot clock.
So 5:32 left in second half action. 86-66 with the 20-point advantage. Emory and Henry has spread the floor. Antonelli being guarded by Bailey. Bailey deflects it out of bounds. Now 19 on the shot clock.
We have substitution for Warren Wilson, number 3.
Antonio Ledbetter.
All right.
So Morgan will have the ball out of bounds for Emory and Henry as his teammates form a line in front of him there inbounds. 19 on the shot clock. Get it inbounds to Banks. Banks gets it down to the baseline and dribbles it on the baseline. So that's a turnover. That's turnover number 12 for Emory and Henry.
That was tennis to be an unforced error there.
Yeah. Day gets it inside where he usually likes to shoot, but pitches it out to Bailey. Bailey takes it in. He gets the acrobatic shot to fall. And again, full court pressure by Warren Wilson. 86-68, Emory and Henry advantage. 5 minutes to play. Antonelli with the ball. Better get it across, and we do. Get it to Ketron on the right-hand wing. He takes it up strong. Doesn't fall. Battle for the rebound. It's tied up on the floor. The possession.
Call a foul?
They called a foul.
On number 4.
I never understand
Morgan.
that. Usually when the ball's on the floor, you can dive. Like, you can run and go and dive and land on somebody, and they never call a foul, because the ball's on the floor. If you did that, any other kind of contact like that would be flagrant. You'd be removed from play for the rest of your life or whatever. But, yeah. All right, so 4:48 remaining. Day's going to the free throw line to shoot 1-and-1. First one's good.
Emory and Henry with 4:48 to go has 9 team fouls. Warren Wilson be shooting 2 the rest of the way.
Second shot is good by Day. He leads the Owls with 16 points. 86-70 is the 16-point Emory and Henry advantage against this full court pressure. We get it up the court to Banks. Now Rodriguez with it, and Coach Thompson calling out the offense. 4.5 minutes left to play. Rodriguez takes it inside, dribbles back out. Ketron with the ball screen. 10 on the shot clock. Rodriguez gets it in, gives it to Banks on the left-hand wing. Banks' shot hits nothing. Ketron saves it from going out of bounds. 3 on the shot clock. Antonelli has to put up something, and he puts up something. And it catches the front of the rim and rolls a little bit and falls in. And he was behind. He was really kind of behind the backboard. It was one of those. It was definitely a driveway shot.
I was going to say, that's straight from multiple games of playing horse in the driveway.
Really, like behind the garage, behind the parked car. All right, so we're at 4:14 remaining, and what you want to know is Emory and Henry has the 18-point lead and has led ever since 5:58 remaining in the first half of play. So the 18-point advantage, what does Emory and what can we expect from the Owls, Coach? They've changed to full court pressure. What can we expect from them coming out of this timeout?
At this point, they've got to have possessions. If they're going to cut into this 18-point lead over the next 4 minutes, they've got to get some defensive stops and be able to convert on the opposite end. So, defensively, they're going to have to pick the pressure up here. The 1-2-1-1, it helped take some time off the shot clock, but it really didn't create any turnovers. I want for them to come out and man-to-man and really try to pick up the pace.
It didn't speed us up any. In fact, if anything, it made us more deliberate. So Jackson with the ball gives it to Day. Day's going to shoot it. That little fall-away shot won't fall this time, and Arnold's back in action. He's been sitting on the bench with 3 fouls. He's back in for the Wasps. And on that miss, of course, there's no full court pressure. Rodriguez gives it to Banks on the right-hand wing, now to Antonelli over there. He gives it to Ketron, who stepped out at the baseline. Rodriguez at top. Spreading the floor, man-to-man defense. Rodriguez gets inside. 5 on the shot clock. Banks' floater won't fall. Rebound by Day. Pass ahead. Oh, gosh, I thought he walked. To Kaiser. That shot's no good. Stick back no good by Ledbetter. And Emory and Henry able to secure the rebound. Antonelli now being guarded man-to-man coming up the court. Tyler Arnold with the ball up top, hands it off to Rodriguez. 12 on the shot clock. Antonelli with it on right-hand wing, goes off a ball screen by Ketron. Antonelli gets past his man, creates something, finds a cutter. That Banks can't get it to fall. He got the great pass from Antonelli, but Won't go in. Bailey with the long three, no good. Rebound, Arnold. And Emory and Henry under 3 now, leading by 18, 88-70. And I think Bailey just wants to foul Antonelli the way he's playing, but he doesn't. Arnold with the ball on the right-hand wing. Gets inside the paint, dishes it out to Banks. And Arnold draws the foul as he penetrates. It's going to be a block on
number 10, Brent Davis. That's going to be his 5th foul for the game. So coming in for Davis, who's fouled out of the contest, number 12, Tariq Kaiser. And also entering number 4, Deshaun Goodine.
So Arnold will go to the free throw line for Emory and Henry. Arnold, a 60% free throw shooter on the season. His first attempt of the game tonight, and he misses that one. Nobody was in the lane spaces for Emory and Henry, so the rebound secured by Warren Wilson. 88-70, 2.5 to play. Day gets it inside, puts up the runner, no good. Rebound Emory and Henry, and Rodriguez is just going to walk it down.
Yeah, this is the time of the game when you've got an 18-point lead. You want the clock to run at this point. Take some time off the shot clock, be intentional, try to get that shot clock down to about 10.
And we are about 10. And Rodriguez tries to make a move. Day reaches in, speeds Rodriguez up. He just goes past him to the rim and lays it in. 90-70, 20-point advantage for Emory and Henry. And now the smallest player on the floor, Deshaun Goodine gets inside. The 5'8 freshman scores the layup. Under 2 to play now. Emory and Henry battling for position. It gets tapped around. Goodine comes up with it. Day on the slam for the Owls. 90-74, 1.5 minutes remaining. Banks with the ball, getting fouled all around. No fouls called. Rodriguez with it now, getting double teamed. If they're not going to call the foul, you just keep coming at them. And that's what they did until finally the officials called the foul. That'll send Rodriguez to the line to shoot 1-and-1.
So with 1:19 to play, Emory and Henry enjoys a 16-point lead.
Emory and Henry's swimming teams competed in the ODAC championships last weekend. The women finished 4th, the men finished 5th. And Logan Smith, that first free throw is good by Rodriguez. Logan Smith broke the Emory and Henry record for a swim in the 400 IM. And he also had a couple other outstanding swims. So congratulations to those two teams as Rodriguez extends the lead now to 18 with those 2 free throws. Just over a minute to play. Passing around the perimeter, Ledbetter takes it in too strong. Rebound Rodriguez. That's 7 rebounds and 25 points for Kevin Rodriguez at this point. He's just going one-on-one, gives it to Arnold. Arnold to Antonelli on the left-hand wing. Ketron on the step out. Finds Arnold on the curl cut. Arnold laid up too easy. Not that I'm disappointed. Under a minute to play. 20-point lead for Emory and Henry. Goodine goes in, can't get it to go. Stick back, is going to draw a foul. And that will be Ledbetter going to the line.
Yeah, that foul's on Dylan Catron, his 4th personal.
Emory and Henry with 5 players in double figures at this point. Of course, we've got 94 points. Somebody's got to have them. That shot's too short for Goodine. No, that's not Goodine. That's Ledbetter. And second shot is good by Ledbetter. He's 3 of 4 on the season from the free throw line. 42 seconds remaining with a 19-point lead for Emory and Henry. And pressure coming from the Owls to get the ball up the court. Rodriguez finally gets it, dribbles across. He's slowing down like he's going to draw the foul. Ketron with the ball on the right-hand wing. Hands it up to Rodriguez. Difference about 10 seconds of shot clock and game clock. Rodriguez goes to the deck with the ball and Owl defenders try to tie him up, so Coach Thompson's going to call a timeout here to keep him from losing a possession on the Tide, possession error on the Tide ball. Well, if you had to say, without looking at the stats, Coach, who has the double-double for Emory and Henry? Well, if I had to ask you who had it for Warren Wilson, I know you're going to get that.
Jerry Day, he's got to have the double-double.
Don't look. Now, who's got the double-double for Emory and Henry?
Well, I would say Kevin Rodriguez, but I think there's probably someone else that's got more rebounds than that. I think I'm going to go with Patrick Antonelli.
Yeah, but it's not what you think. He's got 10 points and 11 assists.
So that's as good as 32 points, Coach, there.
That is right there. Emory and Henry with as a team with 23 assists on their 33 field goals. That just tells you right there what great team play we've enjoyed tonight. Oh, and we've got some new players in the lineup for Emory and Henry. Well, returning to play.
Number 15, Andrew Hensley, back in the game.
22 seconds remaining. Emory and Henry leads by 19. Hensley with the ball, gives it to Antonelli. Pressure defense by the Owls. Finds Rodriguez down low. Misses the first one, sticks back the second one to beat the shot clock. 7 seconds remaining. Day finds a streaking Goodine. Goodine gets the layup to fall, and Emory and Henry will just take the basketball victory formation as Emory and Henry comes away with their first win of the season, and it's a big one, 96-77. You know, Emory and Henry trailed really 3/4 of the 15 minutes of the first half. Not the biggest lead by the Owls was 5.
Right.
But Emory and Henry led from then on, and led with a comfortable lead from halftime on.
Yeah, it was. It was fun to see, and I tell you, I think the biggest difference than we've seen in games past was just the unselfishness of play. Antonelli did a good job of running the point, keeping his team settled down. Made some great backdoor cuts, a lot of unselfish play. You look at Antonelli, he's got 11 assists for the game. And, Malcolm Morgan there with 6 to go with that. So definitely seeing improvement among Emory and Henry over the last few outings.
And considering we played without Robert Holliday Jr., who's our leading scorer and leading rebounder, a great team, a team showing by Emory and Henry. So to run down some stats before we leave you here, Emory and Henry enjoyed shooting 49% from the floor. The Owls weren't bad. 41% will win most games for you. Yeah. They were only 2 of 11 from 3. Emory and Henry 13 of 30. 43% from 3 is a nifty little shooting there. The Wasps were 15 of 19 at the free throw line for almost 79%. While the Owls were 13 of 21. 17 turnovers by the Owls led to, where's that points off turnovers?
35.
35 points off turnovers, while Emory and Henry's 15 turnovers just cost them 12 points. The Owls had a 4 rebound advantage over Emory and Henry. Bench points, Emory and Henry with 33-25 for the Owls. Points in the paint, the Owls with 52, Emory and Henry with 40, and both teams had 18 fast break points.
So let's run down the box scores, starting with Warren Wilson. Number 15, Jerry Day, led all scorers for the Owls with 19 points, going 7 of 18 from the field and 12 rebounds. Adding 14 was number 1, Tyler Whiteside. He was 7 of 10 from the field. Antonio Ledbetter also contributed 14 points, shooting 50% from the field at 6 for 12. DeMarco Jackson, number 2, had 13 points on the night and 7 rebounds to go with that. Turner Bailey with number 21 had 5 points. Deshaun Goodine and Brent Davis both contributed 4 for the Owls. And then Saquon Bell and Tariq Kaiser rounded out the scorers for Warren Wilson with 2 points each. Also playing Sean Austin, Jacob Jackson, and Jayden Wentz.
For Emory and Henry, Kevin Grau Rodriguez, 9 of 21 shooting, 7 of 7 at the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 27 points. Tyler Arnold, 9 of 14 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 20 points. Micah Banks, 4 rebounds, 13 points. Malcolm Morgan, 9 rebounds, 12 points. Patrick Antronelli, 5 rebounds, 11 assists, 10 points. Dylan Ketron, 8 points and 5 rebounds. Corey Keene with 4 rebounds and 6 points. And also seeing action was Andrew Hensley. So, Coach, who are you going to say is your player of the game?
Oh, gosh, that's a tough call. I mean, you got Kevin Rodriguez contributing 27 points on the night, but you've also you had some stellar defensive play by number 4, Malcolm Morgan, and then you have your point guard number 5, Patrick Antonelli, going with 11 points and 10 rebounds. But, you got to show your point guard some love there, Coach. So
yeah.
I'm going to go with number 5, Patrick Antonelli, even though there were a lot of worthy candidates.
I was going to say we're going to have to go with duels, because I don't want to pass up Rodriguez with the 27 and 8. And I can't overlook the 11 assists and 10 points. So I got to go with dual players of the game. So it's fun to be able to honor these student athletes. It's been certainly a privilege to get to be here at the King Center this year when nobody's here. And it's also our privilege to be able to bring this action to those of you who wish you could be here and share in celebrating the accomplishments of these student athletes. Coach, anything else we want to say tonight before we send it back to the station and cut off on the live stream?
No, I'd just like to thank everyone who tunes in to WEHC to hear our games broadcast live on our college's radio station, and also I'd like to say a special thank you to Brent Treesh and his crew for all the hard work they do to bring the live stream. It's a lot that goes into being able to broadcast these games on GoWasp.com, on Emory and Henry's YouTube channel, and on Facebook Live. So we want to give a shout out especially to our Brent Treesh and his crew that help us bring this game to so many during a time when you can't be here to cheer on the team in person.
In a time when about this time last year, the sports went dead and we had to learn how to live without sports. So it's happy to have some access to sporting action these days. I'd like to remind you that the men will take on Warren Wilson again here at the Bob Johnson Court on Thursday at 7:15 tip. It will only be available streaming. So those of you listening on WVHC, there's already programming that will keep its place on Thursday night. But you can follow the action as Coach ran down all the streaming options for that game Thursday night. So when we send it back to the station, I'd like to say a special thanks to Carson Blum, our student worker who's been interning at the radio station this semester, and appreciate all his help there. And we'll send it back to you, Carson, at the station. So for Ann Crutchfield, I'm Joy Scruggs saying thank you for your support of Emory and Henry Athletics, and go Wasps.